Welcome back to another Whiskey Wednesday Whiskey Talk.
It's Wednesday Whiskey Talk.
With your boys at the Whiskey Talk Wednesdays.
We are the Buffalo Happy Hour. My name is Mike. This is Derek. He is off the rails today. However,
Always.
It is fine. We are brought to you by our sponsor, Quickly, Addie's, which is a local liquor store in the Buffalo, New York, greater region. And they have a very knowledgeable staff, as well as a in-house wine sommelier, which, in fact, we review whiskey. So, good tidbit. However, if you are local in the state of New York, feel free to download the Addie's app, purchase something off the app, and they can ship it right to your door. We are reviewing Hartman's experimental series, and this is release number 2. So we're excited for this one. If you are new here, please like, comment, and subscribe because your support only helps us as well as the small businesses that we are representing. Into facto distilleries in this case, so thank you, of course. But Derek has some notes to dive into. If you are new, just so you know the setup, we will do a label branding portion, a nose portion, initial taste, ending notes, final rating, and then we will ask each other if it was worth keeping in our personal collections, just as a fun anecdote. So,
For sure.
We are excited for this one, but Derek, dive into all things Hartman's release number 2 for their experimental series.
So this one is aged 4 years, obviously in the U.S., Buffalo specifically. Hartman's is known right now for their MGP product.
Yes.
And they have their standard bourbon, which is a high rye bourbon, actually. It's a 75% corn, 21% rye, and 5% malted barley. They started off in a new charred white oak barrel. Then they transfer it to a stout barrel from Pressure Drop Brewing for 2 months, and then they go back into a used bourbon barrel for another 4 months. So this is their experimental series number 2. They're going to be doing a couple of these. The next one, I believe, is going to be released in September with experimental number 3 and 4. That one is going to be aged in a Grand Marnier cask for 6 weeks, and they're going to do another experimental, which is toasted. But like I was saying, this is their stout one. This is from Pressure Drop Brewing, which is local to Buffalo as well. It's their Blackalicious Beer, if you have ever had that, if you're in the Buffalo area. It's very delicious. It was polished in here for about 2 months, and then back into the regular barrel, and then back into the stout barrel for another week.
Oh, wow.
So previously, during last week's, we talked about how it was in a Cab Franc barrel.
Yes.
And then they put it back in the Hartman's bourbon barrel to kind of round it out. Now they did that with this in the stout barrel back into the Hartman's barrel, but then after they tried it, they were like, maybe it needs a little bit more. So they put it back for another week in the stout barrel.
Understood.
That's what we got. So label branding, we'll make this one really quick because it's the same exact thing.
Yeah, I would agree. A+ check. It's a 375 milliliter bottle. It's got the exact same anecdotes from the previous release, and it's efficient. It's to the point, it's on brand, and it's not convoluted with unnecessary things.
Yep.
So nice job on the label branding. I will update thy board, and if you know, you know, because, well, I would say we went 7 to 9 months without updating it. So
Oh, dude, we are on season
Here we are.
3 still. on the
dumpster
board.
fires.
And we're currently in season 5, so it was more than a year. I don't know, something like that. But anyway, yeah, there's a lot of words on this. Justin thought that, or whoever was in charge of the labeling, thought that it was a good idea to put every single bit of information on here because it's an experimental series. And with experimental, you kind of want to know a little bit more than their regular labels. So there's a ton of information on it. For that, it's an A+ check. All right, let's open this bad boy up and let's try the nose. So we did just have the Cab Franc, so it's going to be interesting to see how they're different.
Wine to beer. Wine to beer is the biggest difference here. However, I'm not opposed to it because sometimes influencing the palate just brings you more joy into your life and world.
Good sounds with
It's a
these,
great sound. I'm gonna get out of shot. Quit. Hold on. Look at that.
There you go.
Adapt, improvise, and overcome. I got my own footstool now.
Oh, yeah. All right.
What kind of pour is that?
The tasting pour, bro. We got 2 more to do.
Grow up.
All right, nose.
This is a soft nose,
Very
isn't
soft,
it?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but from a tasting perspective, I need a little more to cure my Irishman. What are you picking up? little hop.
A little hop. That's a good call. Just because we had that last one, literally 2 minutes ago, I feel like the last one, the Hartman's nose really shined through. I feel like on this one, the nose is a little bit less prevalent, where you're kind of picking up a little bit of both, but nothing's really hitting you in the face. So for me, I'm actually, the last one we had an A-. I'm going to go B+ with this.
I'm at a B- for this nose. It's very mellow.
Yeah. The other one was very sweet, and it kind of enticed you to take a sip. This
one's almost coming out flat.
yeah. You're kind of, if you're digging,
But it's not in a bad way,
Yeah.
flat. It's just not the first one.
if you're digging hard, you're kind of getting a little bit of like a chocolate Nesquik vibe, and kind of like a
Yeah.
soil note too,
Yeah.
like a fresh soil.
Yeah, you can see that. So, nose, do you want to go B- check?
Yeah, let's do that. B-
All right,
check.
B-
I
check.
agree.
Wow, that
Very
was
easy.
real loud. B- check.
B- check. I agree. All right, initial taste.
I feel like there's probably something hidden in this initial taste. It's soft.
It's very soft and very different.
Soft and delicious indeed, but yes, I wouldn't hound people on the street and say, hey, guzzle this. Mm-hmm. I think it's a select profile of people that would run to this.
Yeah, you got that traditional Hartman's note coming through, that MGP caramel and all that stuff. You're kind of getting maybe like a faint brown sugar with a little bit of a maple, kind of wrapped with this like chocolate note. But those notes I'm digging for.
Very.
Like nothing in here is coming out and saying, this is what you're tasting. It's kind of, you have to sit back. I think with these experimental series, the objective is to a different audience.
This
right?
is 100 proof.
Yeah. I think that these are directed at a different consumer. They're more at a experienced bourbon lover level, where you're going to sit back, relax, and try to parse through all the flavor notes. This isn't something that you're going to have on the shelf for an everyday sipper. This is something that you need to take time to really dive into, because you're not going to get the notes on the first try.
This is super cliche. Ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
I feel that this experimental series release, number dose, forces you to embrace their motto.
Right.
Literally to your point, because I'm actively sipping this and I don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
I want to sip it, literally put it down and just be like, okay, and then just enjoy the next 10 to 15 minutes and then take another sip.
So we'll talk about it during the ending note, but this lasts forever too. So none of these flavors are punching you,
No.
but none of them are leaving either.
No.
So initial taste, I'm gonna go B, flat B. for
Flat
this.
B?
Flat B, yeah.
I agree.
I agree. Just a nice middle of the road. Like it's nothing crazy. It's not their rye. They're hardly something will beat their rye. Their rye is one of the best things I've ever had in my life.
Hartman's rye is ridiculous.
But it's just kind of middle of the road for initial taste. Ending note, though, I will say this thing lingers forever. Not only the notes, but also you can feel it in the back of your throat, just kind of lingering there. Like, hey, you're not ready for another sip yet. Figure me out first. Mm-hmm. Which I don't know if I've had with the whiskey before.
No.
Where it's that deliberate of, you need to relax.
That's not true. The Devil's River Distiller Select,
Oh, yeah, that's true.
we were
Yeah.
forced to sit there and
Yeah.
try. That was the first time we've ever had something that complex, where there were literal levels to the initial taste and the ending note. It was also 120 plus proof, so it kind of forced you to mellow out. But this being at 100 proof, it doesn't drink like 100 proof. It drinks like an 80 proof, which credit to both Pressure Drop and Hartman's.
I will add, too, The initial taste, I know that we're on that, the initial taste goes on very buttery and velvety.
No, it does. Yeah,
Like I
agree.
It's a very well packaged product that is just like you're not going to get anything extravagant, but you're going to enjoy it, which I can appreciate. So any note, kind of getting a little bit of that Nesquik chocolate, kind of like I think that there's a nut in there that I'm not getting. Pause.
We'll all just digest that comment.
I've been having a lot of almonds lately, so is there like an almond note in here, or am I just making stuff up?
I don't think almond. Maybe almond. I did have an almond ring recently from Eileen's Bakery.
Oh yeah, shout out.
Free shout out. Hashtag no free shout outs. Hashtag not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor.
Any note for me, I'm still at like a B-.
I'd probably go B+ on that. I like the any note better than the
B- check. B- check, any note. I agree. Final rating. This is going to be an interesting one.
Yeah.
Derek, give me that countdown.
3, 2, 1.
86. Math. 87.5.
89, 86, 87.5, yeah.
Look at that. Not bad mental math.
We go on this new channel and suddenly you're an expert.
Getting after it.
Yeah.
Would you have this in your collection? After you tried it once, would you have this in your collection? If I was given a free sample of it?
I would say, honestly, for everything that we have, unless it's like mellow corn, I'm saying, yeah, I'll have it in my collection. For me, it really depends on the price, right? If the price is right, will you buy it? For me, I think we said last week, you said 60, 55 you said.
Yeah.
I would go lower than that. I would go, if this is around like $49.99, $45.99 or whatever, maybe I'd scoop it up. But I definitely like experimental one better.
I'm with you on that, and I'm also with you on the pricing point. If like 40 to 45 to me for our area, good. Now, would you be getting? Would you make
For
any money?
750, guys, 750 milliliters.
Yeah, 750 milliliters. Would you make any money, Mr. Hartman? I have absolutely no idea. Probably not.
Probably not.
Right? Probably not, especially in today's day and age, but that's fine. Like, we're literally just picking a dollar amount based off of how it tasted, how it impacted us, and then, kind of evaluating where other things are priced at within our current market. Out-of-state listeners and viewers, things might be different. I mean, in good old Utah, where it's, beyond dry, if you know, you know, then this might be priced completely different. Who knows?
Yeah.
But, I think 40 to 45 range would be, stellar.
But there's only 560 bottles of this, too.
Yeah.
So you also have to take into account the
Well, I mean,
uniqueness
if they were to do it,
yeah, right,
then
sure,
they would do it.
Yeah. But yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to today's review of Hartman's Experimental Series number 2.
Number 2.
With the Pressure Drop Stout Barrel Blackalicious. So if you did enjoy today's review and you are drinking with us today, please remember to always drink responsibly, be a good person. And Michael.
Don't litter.
Is this your first time
It's
here?
my 160th plus, but it's fine. Don't litter, humans.
We're out.